Bala, hi. How are
Ah,
things?
hi Raj. Yeah, touch wood,
The
nothing much
cyclone
to complain. Cyclone is, fortunately, not much of a
cycled
damage.
off.
Cycled off. Yeah, it kind of petered out,
Cycled off. Okay.
which is just as well because,
Yeah, yeah,
and in these spots, the damage has not been as bad as it was
so
originally
yeah,
feared.
one of the things I want to bring out here is that I want to tell all friends of mine who happen to be watching this or who might end up watching this, and of course Bala's friends also. When you get videos of supposedly of the depredations of the weather or things like that, please do a cross check.
Exactly.
Don't share it, because today I have just shared on my Facebook a post of a guy being hit by a billboard, which was supposed to be on Mount Road, Chennai. It happened to be in bloody Karachi here. Not even the same country. Take a break. So when you are uploading stuff, when you are sort of posting stuff like this, when you are sharing it, I think each one of us needs to be responsible about what we are doing. It's not about who sent it to you. That person's responsibility ends when he sends that post to you. After that, what you do with it is your responsibility,
Responsible.
right?
Exactly.
You agree with that? And I
Raj,
think,
you nailed it. Yeah,
yeah,
this message should go to everyone. It's a
everyone.
very simple message, but we have to do our fact checks.
Yes. So
But
I think,
talking of cyclones, we should move on to the other cyclone that seems to
yeah,
be.
I was coming to that. So I was coming to that. See, we talked about fact checks. I think that is exactly what Virat Kohli is asking for in a video. In his pre-match conference or whatever it is, about Rohit Sharma's status.
Availability, non-availability.
Status, yes. So he is for all of you, if you have not watched the video, in a nutshell, what he said was that uh, during the IPL, the information the selectors got was he's not 100%. When he played the IPL, they thought, yeah, oh, he's fine. He's getting over it. It's fine. And very recently, they got an information saying that, okay, he's at the NCA and the test will happen on December 11th. So which effectively means that the guy gets to Australia, assuming he is fit. He gets to Australia after on a date after December 11th, and then has to undergo the quarantine. And then sort of probably is fit only for the, I don't even know whether he will play the Boxing Day test match. He might, or the final test, which is sort of early next year.
There is also talk that they might talk with the authorities and get him out of the quarantine. I don't know whether that is really going to happen.
Yeah, that might be difficult. If it happens, different. But then my question here is, I was a bit concerned about the way it goes on, right, Bala?
Exactly. See, when the captain says, when the captain of the national team says there is no clarity, and that's a huge call. Virat didn't mince any words. There are many ways of interpreting what Virat said. It might be a just simple statement of helplessness. He didn't know what was happening. Or if you are into the kind where who reads between the lines, and you might think that it is a insinuation of a different kind. Or if you are into conspiracy theories, this is Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma's battle, which rumor mills have, that is coming out in the open. I am not sure about any of the things, but personally speaking, I would just read it at face value. It is just a cry of helplessness of a captain who didn't know what was happening. He was not clearly intimated. In that sense, he has every right to opine what he wants to. But there is also a question from certain sections. If this was as simple as that, he could have just asked the person concerned himself.
Yeah. One more thing. See, I will. So now that we have mentioned one side of it, now just flip the argument around. Say now Virat Kohli speaking to the media and saying that. What is that?
Because he was asked a question.
Yeah, he was asked a question, and he said what was the word you used, which came out very strongly there.
Lack of clarity.
He said lack of clarity. Now, who can give clarity? And as a captain, is it his responsibility to ask for clarity, or should he say, you know what, I'm not sure exactly what this is about. I think you should ask the BCCI. Is that a better way? I don't know. I'm just leaving it there. That doesn't mean that Kohli didn't do right or he did wrong, or no, nothing like that. I'm just stating as a leader, what is your role? Number one. Number two, yeah, like you said, Bala, there is an angst. That is definitely there. If I don't know whether a person who is supposed to be in my team is going to be there or not, there is an angst. Now let us go back in history a little bit and see. Rohit was not selected for the Australia tour at all in the beginning, right?
Yes.
He was not selected at all. He was not there.
Tour. The previous
tour, right? So it was very clear he is not part of the white ball team. He was not in the test also. And the test he opened actually in the last. He opened for India. So what made the BCCI what made the BCCI select him and Ishant as an afterthought, and then say subject to clearance, health clearance,
medical clearance?
Where did that come from, first of all? So that was not clear. So what made them change that suddenly and say no? I mean, this was a mistake. We are doing something. So this guy is back again. I mean, we asked that earlier question also. Since in Indian the test team. One wicket-keeper is injured, so you actually add it to the ODI team or T20 team, ODI team.
I'll say more than Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, BCCI has a lot to answer.
Yes.
Because as the management, it should set the communication lines clear. It should get the status of Rohit Sharma passed on to the captain. I don't know whether, I mean, they might have passed on, it might not have been enough for Kohli. But whatever it is, BCCI, we all know is slightly, to use the euphemism, slightly economical with truth. So it is not the best of organizations when it comes to communication.
Now more so. Let us reinforce that. Now more so because neither the team selection, none of these things are open to the press.
Yes, exactly.
There are no questions asked. There are no questions answered. Which seems to be the trend in this country these days. But then that's a separate story. We'll come to that some other time.
But see, there is another point. This is from if you are asking questions to Rohit Sharma, you have to pose this because somebody like Saha, who has injured both his hamstring, has traveled with the team and decided to go for rehab there as part of the team. Now, why is that Rohit Sharma chose to go with NCA?
Yeah, so let me just give you a background to that. There was an instance where Hardik Pandya actually went beyond NCA and got his surgeries and all done, and much to the chagrin of a lot of people out here, right?
That's that's a different story.
No, I'm saying you look at the connect, no?
Connect. See, but here from the IPL, from UAE, Saha boards the plane to Australia, whereas Sharma gets on the plane to Bombay, from there to Bangalore.
Yeah.
See, why did he do that? And if he had done that, why did he not keep the BCCI as well as his captain in the loop?
No, BCCI would be in the loop. No, if he is coming to NCA or Bangalore, the BCCI will definitely be in the loop.
There is no way BCCI it is acting as if it was not in the loop. In the sense, it is not giving out any communication. So
that is the BCCI's problem, which is why I'm saying
exactly.
No. See, most probably what in my guess, now this is now conjecture completely.
Conjecture, absolutely. Let's make it very clear.
Yeah. My guess is that when Rohit Sharma finished the IPL or thereabouts, he was not part of the Australia tour. It was pretty clear. Now, after that, something has happened. I don't know what has happened. And then all of this Goodall came and this...
No. Even when the selection was announced, they made it with an aspect that Rohit Sharma and Ishant Sharma will be part of the team if they clear the medical test. So that was right at the start, they said that. So that was pretty clear. On the day they announced the teams, the 3 teams they announced, the 3 squads they announced. See, the problem is, there is also, let's move on to the other part where the insinuation is, did Rohit Sharma put his IPL team ahead of national? We kind of discussed this during our IPL shows, but did Rohit Sharma do that? And is that something wrong? Is that something?
I'll give you the feedback from one of the guys who was in part of the IPL team that Rohit Sharma plays for. This is Zahir Khan. So Zahir Khan actually says, look, injuries are of different characters, different types.
Exactly.
So a guy who's injured slightly, he can play, or he injured at a certain level, he can probably stay 3.5 hours and play at T20, but might find it difficult to play 50 overs a side, which runs into, the match started at 9 o'clock and it went on till 5:36.
But today was an abomination because both the teams were going too slow, man.
Yeah, whatever. See, it still takes 4 hours each to bowl 50 overs, right?
Today was horrible.
Yeah, so around 4 hours to bowl 50 overs, 3.5, 4 hours to bowl 50 overs.
3.5 hours is the standard time.
So 7 to 8 hours is what you are on the field. And if it is a test match, it's like multiplied by 5. I mean, 6 multiplied by 5, that's like 30 hours.
30 hours.
So, and then Zahir Khan actually brings out the case of Rahul Dravid, who had a problem with his throwing arm and required surgery. And he was actually keeping wickets where there is no throwing involved.
Yes.
And in test matches, he was always at slips. So that is another point that that comes in here.
But the point is, when Saha, the wicketkeeper, can be part of the team, I mean, part of the squad.
So my point is that only.
Rohit Sharma.
My point is that only. See, why not Rohit Sharma? Only Rohit Sharma can say. Now the fact of the matter is, neither Rohit Sharma is saying. Now Virat Kohli has come and said something. Now it might be the situation where
that's okay.
now Rohit Sharma will come and say something.
The question I asked you of whether Rohit Sharma was right in putting his.
I don't see that at all because it's just a one match. He played just one match. He didn't play
two
any
matches.
other matches. Yeah,
two
one
matches.
or two matches. Yeah. The first match he didn't do anything. I think he got out and came back and then didn't participate only.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you're right.
So he actually played only technically he only played one match after that, which is.
No, I'm asking you a larger question. What he contributed to those matches is.
So my point is that, say that if that one match was going to be such a critical thing where he will miss out this, I don't know. Because
forget about what happened there, man. The larger question is are players right in putting their IPL teams ahead of their national cup?
I am favorable for that. I personally feel it is perfectly fine because today when we are seeing, did we watch the Indian team India play or was it Baiju's India?
I mean, let's not get there. But it's a huge problem.
Yeah, it is.
My point is, a player has every right to choose what is good for him. And if he puts his IPL team ahead of the national colors, nothing wrong
with it.
I mean, you have to say, I mean, it's a professional era of professionalism. It is his or her call. Whatever the player decides. See, you had a situation in West Indies where Andre Russell is turning out in Sri Lankan IPL, in the Sri Lankan T20 League, and Phil Simmons, their coach, West Indies coach, didn't know about it. He was, I thought he was injured. I didn't realize that he will be turning out for. But he said as much. He didn't criticize or anything. He said he didn't know about it. He was. But these things do happen. And see, this is the era of freelancers, and this is going to be the norm. And players should be at liberty. They should have the space to choose what is good for them.
See, which is where the problem comes with the BCCI, which is what we said. I mean, I think at the end of the day, one more thing I'll tell you. Again, I mean, if anyone finds this to be my mistake, my apologies in advance. If you can find the right video and tell us that, okay, this video is there, I'll be very happy. The particular video of Virat Kohli's press conference, the one I found on BCCI TV, actually didn't have the reference to Rohit Sharma, which was a little bit surprising. It was surprising. No, maybe I didn't find it. Okay, here is the thing. That caveat is maybe I didn't find it. Which is why I said if any one of you finds it, watching it, you find it, please.
But I would not be surprised if BCCI had edited it and kind of bowdlerized it.
So in which case,
they have this tendency to edit out this so-called uncomfortable parts. We in India tend to do that. In journalism, a lot of papers do that.
See, which is where I have a thing, because the entire thing that is playing out, I don't think it is great for cricket. I don't think it is great for sportsman spirit itself. Because, like I said, I mean, right in the beginning, I said, Kohli saying what he said was good. He came out with whatever he felt. Now, the point is, he should have completed whatever he wanted to say.
So, I just extend this and ask you, does Kohli's communication skills is a bit of a problem for you?
No, it is not. I think it is his desire to communicate. What does he want to communicate was not clear from today's communication. For me, that was the problem. What was he hinting at? See, the fact that we did the show was because I don't think neither you or me, we actually got clarity on what was he hinting at, other than the fact that he was unclear about, or there is an angst about Rohit Sharma's.
I would like to give him the benefit of, I just take him at face value. Take what he said at face value, nothing more.
No, because so my question is
any conspiracy.
But then why is he saying that? Now the question is that when he is saying something like this, you know what, I would have adding one line, I would have expected Rohit to pick up the phone and call me, or Rohit Sharma would have said, you pick up the phone and call me. Or you say, did he say that I picked up the phone and called Rohit Sharma?
One of the criticisms against Kohli from social media platforms I see is See, he could have as well checked up with Rohit Sharma. It was not as if he was not unavailable or incommunicated.
Yeah, that's the point.
The question is, whose onus is that? Who should communicate that?
See, whatever it is, Bala, the point is that whether it is X or Y, if we don't communicate, we don't communicate. That's all.
But Rohit Sharma, I mean, I'm just putting out the facts and just out there. I mean, I'm not saying he is right or he is wrong. I'm saying is what prevented Rohit Sharma from clarifying his position. Why did he choose NCA?
See, which is where I'm saying now. If he chose NCA, I mean,
Right.
are we also saying that Virat Kohli was not aware that he chose NCA, like Phil Simmons?
That's what I mean. That's
I don't think so, because Ravi Shastri said something different 3 days back.
What did Ravi Shastri say?
Shastri said that he hopes that the NCA packs him up within the next 3 days. He was aware of it.
Yeah. He said
he was aware of it.
That.
He was aware of it. They were aware of it.
After he checked into NCA, everyone was aware of it. But before going into NCA, nobody was aware of it. That is the point. No.
See, the point is that only. No, before he go.
Why he chose NCA?
Who chose?
Another injured person. I mean, he has every right to choose what he wants.
Bala, again, who chose?
I don't know. Rohit Sharma chose for himself.
Did he himself choose? Did the BCCI say? That is the question. No.
Because see,
so now we are assuming. No, see, look at the assumption we made.
Yeah, agreed. That point I'll certainly agree. Because I'm just going by what Saha did.
That's what I'm saying. No, see, did Saha do it himself, or was Saha made to do it?
Was now Saha nudged to do that? I don't.
You don't know.
See, I don't know.
See, which is why I'm saying there are more questions than answers from Virat Kohli.
Exactly.
I think we'll put it there. We'll leave it there.
So in that case, Kohli is right in saying he didn't have any clarity, because
the point is, where does he find clarity?
BCCI should have provided.
See, when you are talking about something, this is what I'm saying. No, when you are talking about something in public, if you don't have clarity, do you say you don't have clarity and say, look around, okay, can somebody give me clarity? I don't think that is the right approach. I think it is. See, now when all you say about could Rohit have spoken to Virat? Yes. Could Virat have spoken to Rohit? Yes. That's the point. Now, if both of you don't speak and come and speak to the media, I don't know what is going to happen.
Well, they could have, but for the one entity that should have is BCCI. That kept silent.
Yeah, and if you have a coach, Ravi Shastri, who's again talking about what should be there, I find that even more weird.
So I mean that more than Kohli's presser, I was surprised by Shastri's.
So I mean, so for me, this seems to be a pattern. So that is the pattern I'm observing, and which is really dirty. I think Indian cricket could do without this. Is all I'll say. So I mean, we are talking about two of the modern greats. I think Rahul Dravid and Tendulkar managed the 194 far better than these two guys are managing it here. I'll leave it there. When Tendulkar was
okay, you're right, but
that is maturity. I think this is where I think there is something which Ravi Shastri probably can, as a coach, can imbibe into the team here. I think
he should instill it.
Yeah.
But okay.
So I think for me that is the key element, that maturity to stand up and say, you know what.
My problem is with the BCCI, man, more than the players.
BCCI is always a problem.
Yeah.
So Rahul Dravid and Tendulkar also played with the BCCI, right?
Yeah.
So what?
See, BCCI should. I mean, if the wires are crossed, it is BCCI's responsibility to set it all right.
Bala, the BCCI is a bunch of crossed wires. I don't think they have any idea that anything else is crossed. So as far as I'm concerned, it is individual game, individual. See, Indian cricket is there in spite of BCCI, like every other sporting body. So let us leave it there. So this will always happen when BCCI. See, there was a time when Supreme Court came in and said, cricketers or cricket should be governing cricket. Now suddenly you find everybody else is governing cricket. What happened? So I think we'll leave it there.
Sure.
So I think it is individual.
But as you said, the entire incident has left a very
it's not in good taste. It's not in good taste. Yeah,
bitter aftertaste.
Honestly, I think at least now they need to just sort of whoever is involved, they just need to come in. I'm sure they have video Zoom calls in Australia, right? Or don't they?
Probably Rohit Sharma is in a place where internet was pretty iffy. I think he's hiding in somewhere in my vicinity, because half the time the internet is pretty bad in my place.
So, which means he's not in NCA. We leave it there now. So I mean, so like I said, there are 2-3
points. He's in NCA, Namma Chennai area, man.
Oh, that. that way. Seripa. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
So we'll wait for the next ODI and hopefully
Next
it will be
press
less boring.
conference.
Yeah, and next press conference, and hopefully the press conference will be boring and the match will be interesting. In this case, it was the other way around, sadly. So we'll leave it there. Chalo, bye. Take care,
Bye.
and we'll
Take
see you
care.
soon.
Soon. Bye.